can't is not an option. It's either I will or I won't. I know I can, but I will or I won't, and that's the thing. And in some cases, you may try your hardest and you just don't win, or you don't pass the test, or you don't succeed. That's part of life. Understanding it's going to take hard work, discipline, and learning how to work with other people in order to get to the next level. The first rule is to love and respect everybody you come in contact with. You're not going to agree with them. You're not going to even like them on some occasions, but you love them and you respect them. Number 2 is to be your best. If your best is a C on the test, even if it's D or F on the test, you can never be disappointed if you know you gave it your all. And then, number 3 is we don't use the word can't. It's not in our vocabulary. I was told my entire life, you'll never do this, you'll never do that, you can't do this, it's impossible for you to do that. When you tell somebody what they can't do, for some people that drives them, because you're not going to tell me what I can or cannot do. But for other people, when you tell them, oh, you'll never be able to do that, like that could be the breaking straw, and that back for that person, that's their spirit, to actually go out and succeed. So I never tell my kids, if they come to me and they may have the most outrageous idea, I say, all right, cool, let's figure out how we're going to do it. I never say, oh man, you can't do that, we ain't doing that. It's a work ethic. You got to be passionate about whatever it is that you're going to do, whether it be, an artist, entertainer, sports figure, political, like whatever it is that you decide to do in life, you have to have an extreme work ethic. You got to be willing to do stuff that other people aren't willing to do. You have to have respect. The first thing I taught my kids when they can understand it was how to shake somebody's hand. If your agenda is to help make an impact on people's lives, then it shouldn't matter if your name's at the top of the banner. It shouldn't matter if your gifts have certain name tags or whatever, however you want to do it. I'm super competitive, so nobody's going to tell me what I can't do. I mean, I can't sing, but don't tell me I can't sing. I'm going to give you my best singing possible. It's not that I can't sing, it's just I don't sing well. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I always had a drive to, like, not prove people wrong, but to prove God right. God said that He has great plans for me. So my grandmother passed away from breast cancer in 1995. I was going to the hospice. The woman that was her roommate, per se, she was from the South, and she was very racist. Every time I come in the room, she'd say, oh, well, there goes that boy. I had to do everything I could. I knew I had grown because I didn't respond the way I probably should have responded had she caught me a couple years earlier. My grandmother, after a few weeks, she reached over and grabbed my arm, and she was like, if I happen to die before she does, I want you to come back and see her. And I'm like, no, this is not my grandmother talking right now. And so it ended up happening like 3 weeks after my grandmother said that. My grandmother passed away. And so my grandmother saw something at the time that I didn't really understand why she was doing it. But I went back and I go into this room, and the lady's like sits up on her seat, and she's just starts bawling, crying.
And this is the racist lady?
Yes. And then she was like, I'm so glad I got a chance to see you again. I thought I'd never see you again. I apologize for how I treated you. I've gone to church. I've done so many things, in church. I've served the homeless, etc., etc. But I wasn't doing the one thing that I know that God would have approved of the most, and that's loving His people. And then she asked me if I can give her a hug. And I said in my TED Talk, I was a little apprehensive about doing that because she could have, shanked me or something like that on the side. But I hugged her, and when I hugged her, she said, "You're like the son that I never had." And I'm going, okay. I didn't understand it at the time. I'm walking out, and then the lady said, the ladies up front, they were like, "That was so beautiful to witness," because essentially the reason why she had so much anger towards you was because she kind of got dropped off, which happens a lot in nursing homes or care centers. The family dropped her off, and she has 2 daughters, and the daughters just couldn't handle the seeing their mom in that position. And my grandmother saw that before I would have ever saw it. She just saw an opportunity for even the hardest of hearts to be changed, even in their dying days. If you can have impact on somebody that that way, then just imagine what's going to happen when you do that to a complete stranger. And it may not be "I love you and I believe in you." It may be the action of showing, hey, you're worthy of nice clothes or a nice pair of shoes, or you're worthy of being able to go and enjoy a movie. In college, the more successful people are most of the time, the people that are more well-rounded. You kind of have an appreciation for what other people do and what other people are going through, but you can be inspired on any given moment, any given day, just talking to people.
It doesn't get any easier. You just get stronger. If you want to change, don't expect your life to stay the same. Expect it to get harder. Expect it to actually get really, really tough. Tougher than you can even imagine right now. And this is where you can move past the boundaries that used to hold you back. Used to hold you by the neck. Now you can move towards the fulfillment that's your future. And this is where you can finally feel the satisfaction of your work. This is when you finally get to feel that success. Now is the time for you to step up, stand out, and become the person you need to become. Your future is in your hands, and this is what sets your life up to be worth the potential that you deserve. Your power is and always has been the thing that's going to take you towards the life that you have earned. Don't fail yourself. Perseverance is the aspect that takes you towards a future worthy of your strength, worthy of your progress. So take pride in that more than anything. You have, and you always will have this potential to improve, this potential to adapt, and this potential to change. This is what you've been working for. Go on and receive that.
One mistake shouldn't hold you back for more than one day. The rise is the most important part of your progress. The rise makes your future something different. It makes you you. It makes you strong. And the intelligence of that takes you to a power worth your future. And value this. This moment of pain is not going to last forever unless you let it last forever. You don't need this, so don't let it happen. Change your perspective, change your mindset to something always willing to grow, always willing to take courage. Make this who you are and make this worthwhile. This power that you have is valuable because your future is valuable and your potential is valuable. You're more than you could ever imagine, man. Your power is stronger than you could ever imagine. This progress is going to take time, but this opening to work, this opening that you have in this moment, it's not always open. So take it. Take it right now. Take it now before it's too late. You're more than your last minute. You're more than your last minute. You're more than your last mistake. Get prepared for the success. Get prepared for the progress. You can make this you. Make this power yours. Yours to keep forever. Because this is what you're going to leave behind. This is what your legacy is made up of. The moments when you get knocked down but rise up over and over again. These are the building blocks of the legacy that you're constructing. These moments when you push forward and rise up over and over again. And that is what brings you to the place where you thrive. The place where you thrive and become better.
People gave to me and my family and my mom and other kids in my situation when they had nothing to gain in return. And that's character, you know, when you can give someone something, do something for somebody, and it's really not about you, it's really about helping them. And you're not expecting anything in return, right? You have to set the precedence of like being authentic. You know, we live in a very, inauthentic world where we don't do nearly as much as we could do if we didn't have an agenda. I don't have an agenda. You know, my only agenda is to literally change everybody's life that I could possibly change in one way or another. Being authentic and being me has literally changed my whole life because people are really starving for truth.